Have you ever felt a sudden chill in a room and thought, maybe it's a ghost? We've all heard the stories about cold spots, those pockets of icy air that signal a supernatural presence. It's a classic horror trope, right? But what if the opposite were true? What if the most terrifying presence wasn't cold, but warm? Soothingly, addictively warm. Today, we're diving into a horror concept that flips that trope on its head, turning our most primal comfort into a deadly trap. This is the story of the thermal debt. Imagine this. It's a bleak, rainy night. You're huddled under a blanket, the wind rattling your windows, and the house feels like an icebox. You just can't get warm. Suddenly, a wave of blissful heat washes over you. It's not coming from the radiator or fireplace. It just appears. The air around you shimmers with a cozy, gentle warmth that feels like sinking into a hot bath. Every goosebump vanishes. Your shivering stops, and a deep sense of peace settles over you. It feels like the safest, most comfortable you've ever been. You close your eyes, basking in this sudden, unexplainable comfort. But while you're wrapped in this personal paradise, something strange is happening. The rest of the house plunges into an unnatural cold. Frost begins to creep across the inside of the windows. The water in the dog's bowl freezes solid. A flower in a vase on the far side of the room stiffens and shatters as if flash frozen. The temperature everywhere but your immediate vicinity is plummeting to impossible lows. You don't notice, of course. You're too content, too relaxed in your bubble of perfect warmth. This is the work of our entity. Let's call it the Heat Eater. It's not a ghost that brings a chill. It's a parasite that feeds on warmth, and it's found its next meal. The warmth you feel isn't a gift. It's a lie. The entity has wrapped itself around you, an invisible, biological blanket, and it's doing two things at once. First, it's hijacking your nervous system, tricking your skin's receptors into signaling heat to your brain. It's a sensory illusion, a phantom comfort designed to keep you placid and compliant. Second, and far more sinister, it's actively draining your core body temperature. It's a thermal vampire, pulling the heat directly from your organs, your blood, your very cells. At first, the lethargy feels like part of the comfort. You're so warm and sleepy, you can barely keep your eyes open. Moving feels like too much effort. Why would you want to move anyway? You've never felt so good. But then, a subtle wrongness begins to creep in. Maybe you try to lift your hand to scratch an itch, but your arm feels impossibly heavy, like it's made of lead. Your thoughts become slow and syrupy, drifting like snowflakes. You try to call out, but your lips feel numb and stiff, and only a faint, breathy whisper escapes. That's when the horrifying realization begins to dawn. This isn't sleepiness, it's paralysis. The warmth you're feeling is a lie, a beautiful, deadly illusion. The reality is, you are freezing to death. You are dying of hypothermia, but your own body is telling you that you're perfectly warm. The entity is a predator that uses comfort as its camouflage. It doesn't need to scare you. It needs to soothe you into oblivion. By the time you fully grasp the situation, it's far too late. You're trapped. You can see your own breath fogging in the air. A final, physical proof of the cold that has consumed you. But you can't fight back. You're too weak, too sluggish. The entity tightens its embrace, and you are left helpless. A conscious mind trapped in a frozen body, feeling the most wonderful warmth as you drift into a cold, silent death. You've paid the thermal debt with your life. This concept is so terrifying because it weaponizes one of our most fundamental survival instincts, the search for warmth and comfort. We are biologically programmed to seek out heat when we're cold. It means safety, shelter, and life. This story takes that instinct and turns it into a homing beacon for a predator. The very thing you desire most becomes the instrument of your doom. Think about the psychological horror. There's no jump scare, no monster chasing you down a hallway. The horror is slow, insidious, and internal. It's the ultimate gaslighting experience, where your own senses betray you. Your brain is telling you everything is okay, that you're safe and comfortable, while your body is shutting down. The dissonance is terrifying. You become a prisoner in your own perception. The parasitic nature of the entity adds another layer of dread. It's not just killing you, it's feeding on you. It's draining your life force, your literal warmth, to sustain itself. You are not just a victim, you are a resource. This makes the act deeply personal and violating. It's like a living creature has chosen you as its host, wrapping itself around you in a perverse, fatal embrace. And what would the final moments be like? Imagine the protagonist finally realizing the truth. They're lying there, unable, Tomo feeling this glorious, radiant heat. But with their last moments of clarity, they understand. They understand that the heat is just the cold touch of the entity, and the feeling of comfort is the final stage of their body giving up. They might even try to warn someone to fight it, but they're trapped in this blissful paralysis. They die with a serene smile on their face, looking for all the world like they're having the most peaceful sleep of their life, while their body is as cold as stone. The horror doesn't end with a victim's death. Imagine a family member finding them. They walk into a room that's still unnaturally cold, except for the spot on the couch where their loved one is. They touch them, expecting warmth, but instead they feel an icy cold that seeps into their own skin. The body is frozen solid, but there's a peaceful expression on their face. How do you explain that? The police would be baffled. A case of hypothermia indoors, with no signs of struggle. It's a perfect, untraceable crime. And the entity, it's now fully charged, saturated with the life it has consumed. It detaches and moves on, silent and invisible, searching for its next cold, unsuspecting victim, ready to offer them the warmest, most final embrace they will ever know. The thermal dead is a terrifying reminder that sometimes the things that feel the best can be the worst for us. And the most dangerous threats are the ones that come disguised as comfort. What do you think? Does the idea of being lulled into a frozen death by a heat-eating ghost scare you more than a simple cold spot? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. This is a concept that really gets under my skin, and I'd love to hear how it affects you. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this dive into a new kind of horror, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content that will make you rethink what you truly afraid of. Stay safe, and maybe keep a thermometer handy.